Hello guys, you're going to love this. Version 0.16 is out and we're going to the moon. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and launch. Yeah, this might not be the most effective ship, but I wanted to show you this one cool new feature in this version. So off we go. Yeah, we have lots of larger stock parts now, and as you can see we only have one guy here since this is a small capsule, and the game looks very different overall. But yeah, you're going to love this. This changes everything. Okay, so these first two stages should last us to about up to 12 kilometers, and after that this is our main stage. It will get us into orbit and start our lunar injection, and this will take us almost all the way to the landing. I've tested and flown this ship successfully once, so hopefully there won't be any catastrophic failures, and it's almost time to get rid of this first stage. So detach, goodbye, and at this point we want to start our turn. Since this stage is very powerful, we need to watch our trajectory carefully, otherwise we're gonna end up with a wonky orbit, and we are also gonna waste a lot of fuels, and we really don't want that since this ship is pretty light in the way of fuel reserves. It's enough to get us there and land and get back, as long as we don't screw it up. Okay, and that puts our apoapsis above 70 kilometers, so we turn ourselves horizontally, and we want to watch our speed at 2000 meters per second. We want to slow way down, because that's the point where you more or less enter your orbit. Yeah, Jebediah is enjoying himself very much. Okay, and that's 2000 and change meters per second, so we need to cut our engines out now. Now we're gonna wait for the apoapsis, finish our orbit, finish entering our orbit, and gods, this turns really slowly and you can't time warp at all in the atmosphere. Anyway, we're gonna finish our orbit and then we're gonna head for the moon. Yeah, 1x while in the atmosphere. Okay, we're out. Yeah, these big engines are vectoring engines, so they allow us to turn our ship, so it turns pretty well if it's under power, but if not, then not so much. Okay, and we're burning, and we have periapsis. I think we have periapsis, and we want 120,000 on both sides. Okay, now we wait. Yeah, that angle isn't exactly good. Let's wait a little more. Okay, this is okay-ish. Let's go for it. Adjust ourselves here. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Oh god, it's hard to control. Okay, at least we won't be doing any maneuvers at the moon with this stage, since it's should be almost out of fuel. Yes, it might get us. Yeah, like I said. Whoa, that's... yeah, I should have cut the engines before doing that. That's a bit wild there. Probably best to avoid stuff like that. Okay. Now let's finish our lunar injection and... yeah, 10 minutes in. Okay, nice low periapsis. I like that. We don't want a high periapsis. 30,000 will do just fine. That way we can immediately set ourselves up for our landing without messing around with our orbit too much. And when you switch over to the moon, you probably don't want too high a time warp, because you can end up on escape trajectory way past your periapsis before you get out of time warp. Okay, we don't need to worry about turning our ship here because it turns rather easily, and you don't want it to turn too quickly actually, because then you end up overshooting. But with a bit of fiddling around, we are ready to orbit the moon. We're gonna land on the sunny side, and this crater actually looks pretty inviting, so we're gonna go for that. Okay, we're in orbit now. Bring that down to manageable amounts. Yeah, that will do just fine. I'll go through the construction of this ship at the end of the video as usual, if anyone's interested in that, but this is a pretty improvised construction and no great masterpiece of engineering. And I'm gonna shift my orbit a tiny bit northwards here, like that, so that we can land in more or less the center of the crater. Oh, come on, switch views. Okay, here we are, around the moon. And this is not our lander stage yet. This here, this small center part, that's our lander and return stage. That's it. Ooh. Okay. Don't know how much you saw there, probably too much, but I hope the surprise isn't spoiled. Okay. And now we need to retro burn or burn retrograde. Okay, come on, turn. Don't have that much. Actually, we want to... it really lags when you switch from map view to this, or maybe it's just a video recording. Anyway, we want to get rid of some of that speed, and we want to burn a teensy bit southwards. That's probably enough. Okay. Now we're gonna speed it up, and now we're gonna set our plunge. We want to get rid of almost all of our lateral speed so that we come straight downwards, and surface speed there, and that ought to be nearly vertical trajectory wise. It's close enough. Okay, we can actually forget about the map view here. Okay, and that's the surface. I think they've changed the textures again. At least it seems easier to tell how far away from it you are. So now, since this stage has plenty of power, but we can't afford to waste any fuel here. We're gonna wait till we're a bit closer to the ground before retro burning. That's probably close enough. Okay, let's burn. Gonna slow ourselves down a bit more, not too much. We want to attain some speed. Actually, that looks pretty close, but I can't be that close yet, can I? I mean, I'm 6,000 meters up from the lowest point. It's a crater, it should be lower than that. Anyway. 60 meters or so to do fine. And yes, we're running out of fuel as we're coming in for the landing. So, new version, huh? That's just awesome. Okay, that's our RCS blocks, in case we need to translate, although we probably won't. But we'll see. Let's hope. I had some problems with these last time, so let's hope they work fine. How high up am I? Looks like I'm pretty close, but not that close yet. Okay, how are we doing on fuel? We should be fine there. Okay, let's leave it at 20 meters per second, more or less. Precision controls on. Adjust ourselves a bit there, and yeah, we are slowing down. We don't want that. This ought to do fine. And how close are we? Can't tell. Some sort of laser rangefinder thing would be pretty good right about now. Hope they add some sort of part that lets you know just how far off the nearest surface you are. And we're not gonna be able to land with those still attached. The idea is to get as close to the ground as possible with these, then detach them and finish our landing maneuver. Okay. Yeah, that's the ground coming up there. Okay. We want to slow ourselves down to 10 meters per second. Oh, god damn it. Well, we're gonna have to get rid of this anyway. 30 liters of fuel. It's not a lot, but should be more than enough. Enough for landing maneuvers, certainly. Okay, yeah, the surface nowhere near that close. 1000 meters. We're 1000 meters up, I mean. And the surface is... who knows how close. About 1000? Bit more, bit less than that. 800 probably. Yeah, but it's coming closer. So let's get rid of that. Okay, we want to... Yes, it exploded. Excellent. RCS H, we want to slow ourselves down. No, that's the wrong direction. Okay, H. Gentle touchdown, people. Gentle touchdown. Okay, SAS, RCS. We're down. And now this you're going to love. Oh my god, it's stairs. That's right. They've added EVAs. So, one small step for Kerbal, one giant leap for Kerbal kind. Whee! Moon gravity! Whee! See? I told you this was awesome. Wow. This is amazing. Whee! Let's go check that out, see if we can siphon some fuel or something. Probably not. Of course we can't, but still. Hey, fuel tank, how you doing? Oh, you're broken. Too bad. Oh no, just the engines got blasted. This one's fine. There's some SAS. Okay. Okay. Let's pick up a souvenir. Whee! And let's head back to our ship. Come on, jump. No, jump forwards, not like that. Come on, jump. Jump. Yes! Whee! I'm just psyched about this. This is awesome. Yay! We've conquered the moon. Now we just have to get back home safely. Okay. Yay! And we're back on board. Actually, forget about that. Let's first retract these. And safely away and safely away. Woo! Yeah, these engines have really been nerfed. They're a lot less powerful now, but oh well. We still have our RCS, most of it anyway. And that will actually help us out a lot more than this engine, because, well, it's really we don't have a lot of RCS fuel, so we can't burn for long with that, but it will allow us to burn a lot more quickly if we need to see. But we're gonna save that for re-entry. And we're burning towards 90 degrees, RCS off. Yeah, we're gonna probably do a quarter of... yeah, we're gonna do a part of our orbit around the moon and then head back home. 45 degrees. Oh, come on, come on. Yeah, I don't have an SAS unit on this part, so just the advanced SAS, so yeah, as you can see. Still, this is an awesome update. One of the best, in my opinion. Yeah, this is taking a really long time, since this engine is pretty inefficient, although we should get back home with enough fuel. Yeah, see, quarter of the tank gone, and we really used very little in the landing maneuver. So, returns just became a little more fun there. Let's turn a bit closer to 90 degrees. I think we have all the height we need there. Oh yeah, we definitely do. Okay, towards 90 degrees, please. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfectly horizontal there. Just as long as it gets us home. Okay, actually, we can burn at the apoapsis now and swing ourselves out towards Kerbal, as is. So, how do we set up the return? I mean, landing trajectory. How do we want to do this? Guess we could set ourselves up with 32 kilometers of periapsis at Kerbal and then thrust upwards or downwards. Well, 40,000 actually. And then we thrust upwards or downwards if we want to either head in at that trajectory or if we want to abort. Yeah, that ought to be fine. Let's adjust our orbit a bit actually. Okay, apoapsis heading outwards. How much fuel we had left? Half a tank. These now hold 400 liters. Okay. Yeah. Come on. Moon escape is at what? 700 meters per second. Something like that, I think. Okay, we should have a periapsis. Sorry. We should have an escape trajectory any second now. There we go. Oh, and that is increasing. Okay, let's swing out here and what we want to do is slow ourselves down here so that we... Whoa, why can't I turn? Okay, time warp is on. Okay, yeah, and we're a bit past our apoapsis, but oh well. I don't want to do another orbits, and we're plenty close enough. Okay, if I knew Kerbin's rotation, I think it will go halfway through its rotation in these 7 hours, although it will be closer to 6 by the time we adjust our orbit. So we should land close to the launch pad. So our target here is 40,000 kilometers. Come on. Okay, how much fuel we have left? Less than I would like, and the engine isn't as powerful as I would like either, but ought to be fine. Yeah. Problem is with the danger of crashing into a mountain, because we need to reserve some fuel for adjusting our entry in case we run into trouble. So let's get a bit closer to that, and once we're an hour or so away. Okay, how's that going? Oh yeah, it's really orbiting. Well, actually we should come down in an ocean, that's fine. So we want to burn downwards, I believe, to bring our... yeah, that ought to do fine. Our so... eek. Come on. Don't be like that. Okay, I think we're in the atmosphere now. Yes, we want to accelerate slightly to... actually, no, we want to thrust upwards here. Just a bit. I don't think we have a lot of fuel left, though. Okay, so... 34.5 ought to do. And we're heading in. Still have more than a quarter tank left, that ought to be enough. Yeah, it looks like we might escape again. I will use my engine and RCS to slow ourselves down after we get over the ocean. Actually, what we might want to do is burn northwards to come over the ocean a bit faster if possible, which does not seem likely. Yeah, our orbit isn't really changing there. Forget about that. We're moving too fast to significantly alter our trajectory there. Okay. No, that's the wrong way. Turn this way. Okay. And this is all made with stock parts. This is the new update. This is how the game looks now. Also, I found out that your previous craft files won't be compatible with this version, so sorry. Okay, we're at our periapsis. Slow the F down. Okay, here we go. Come on. And our apoapsis is 400 kilometers. Okay, we're going in. It's gonna be fine. Okay, that's good enough. It's gonna be good enough. Yeah, we're going in. Slowed ourselves down and we're going in. And in that very short nudge we used up about a quarter of our RCS tank. Although if you do, you really don't need more than one with a lander this small. Two if you have extra fuel tanks on the outside and it's a wider lander. But you really don't need a lot of RCS. What you need is a lot of RCS blocks, but fuel wise with the moon lander you really don't need a lot. Okay, and apoapsis is in the atmosphere again. Sorry, not again, but it's in the atmosphere, so we're not going anywhere. Yeah, so we're gonna get home safely, it seems. Okay. Why is there a free spot there? I could tell this guy to go out of the ship now, and he would probably fall off and go. Well, we're not gonna be doing that. That would be just wrong. Although it is kind of tempting. Okay, we're not gonna need our fuel anymore, so let's slow ourselves down. Still moving pretty quickly, 2000 meters per second. That's like several times faster than the speed of sound, certainly. I don't know exactly how much. 5-6 times faster. Think. Something like that. Anyway, way fast. And our RCS is gone. And this engine really, it's has a like anyway, it had 50 units of thrust, now it has 20, so it's more than 2 times weaker. And yeah, it's really not doing a lot. Okay, come on, slow yourself down. Come on. And it's not really slowing itself down that much. Come on. Oh, come on, run out of fuel. Come crashing into the ocean. And detach. Goodbye, lander pod. What's that there? Oh, that's the staircase thing. Okay. RCS off. Might as well turn the SAS off. And parachute. Deployed at 20,000 kilometers. Sorry, 20,000 meters, not 20,000 kilometers. Okay. Come on. We're almost home. No, oh, that's crew hatch. We definitely don't want him to exit now. Yeah, and we're not gonna drown him in the ocean either. That would be just nasty. No, he deserves his triumphant return home. Besides, we have moon rocks to study. And they're all in his pockets. 5 kilometers. We are heading in. Is that sunrise? No, it's not. Kind of. Anyway, nice clear blue day. And we've just been to the moon. Okay, we're gonna splash down and I'm going to show you the rocket. So, if you want, you can stop here, or after we've splashed down, I'm just gonna show you the rocket and some of the new parts. Okay, wow, we're actually moving slower than we did in the previous version with the parachute deployed properly deployed. We used to move twice as quickly as this, so I guess now we could land safely. Huh, didn't know that. Yeah, I ended my test flight before I finished re-entry. So we could wait? Yeah, let's wait. Dramatic ending. Feelings of success and awesomeness. 200 meters, almost there. Come on, smile, Jeb, you're a hero. Come on, smile. No? Oh, come on, don't be like that. Oh well. Think of all the Kerbals glued to their TVs right now. Come on! Just one smile, dude. No? Seriously? Oh, alright, wait for recovery then. So you can end the video here if you don't want to see the ship and the new parts, or if you do, stay right here. Okay, high speed over land, lots of... Okay, so first thing you can see, we have some bigger fuel tanks here. And of course the usual stuff. Yeah, we have some new stuff here. Specific impulse in atmosphere and in vacuum. I think that's engine efficiency. That has to do with engine efficiency, but I really don't know for sure. Yeah, fuel is in liters now. Some of the capacities has changed. We now have a radially mounted engine here, and this has really been nerfed. Yeah, max thrust 20, 200 and 215. Yeah, these have been changed as well. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, and we have a landing stabilizer now. How awesome is that? Can actually land these things. I mean, stabilize these things on the pad so they don't crash. Okay, so, oh yeah, different staircases, bigger parachute, bigger lander legs, but that's because this now is a single person command pod. Okay, let's go through our ship. So here, yeah, let's start at the bottom. Here we have the small engines, because they have a great vectoring setup, having a gimbal range of 2.5, which is 2.5 times more than this engine had. And yeah, these are essentially extra fuel tanks with some engines for a bit of extra power and a lot of extra stability. So we get, and SAS of course. All these are extra fuel tanks essentially with stuff added on for extra stability. So we remove that, we have our main stage which sets us up for our orbit with lots and lots of struts. Then of course we have the stage that actually travels to the moon and sets us up for our landing with more or less just enough fuel. And we have a tiny bit of extra fuel here, but not a lot. and these are radially detachable, of course. And here, of course, we have landing legs, RCS, and basic lander setup. Okay. Yeah, I can put a decoupler over this because it's not actually deployed. When you launch, it's deployed after the decoupler is decoupled. So, well, you saw how this worked. Jeb comes out here and goes down these and walks on the moon. And yeah, also, yeah, Mark 1-2 command pod. Yeah, oh yeah, and you see those guys walking around there. That looks just so very awesome. Yeah, and this is the new 3-person launcher. As you can see, it is just bigger. Okay, let's show you what a normal rocket would look like now. Actually, yeah, there are no big advanced SAS units, so it would look kind of dweebish like that, but actually maybe we can do it like this. Anyway, things have changed a bit. Large parachute, okay, and these bigger fuel tanks are fitted for this kind of rocket. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Like, favorite, subscribe, leave your comments, questions, suggestions, and